the 24-70 Sigma Art 2.8. This is the ultimate storytelling lens right here. Why? Because you can shoot zoomed in close-ups on your characters without getting in their faces, and you can get wides right away, all in one lens. It also does like macro, it's stable and nimble for the gimbal. This is actually a bonus one. It's not part of the top 10 list, but this bounce thing, I literally have it in my wall. It's cheap. You can buy it on Amazon. I'll have a link to one in the description below. Look how nice soft this light is. Like, this is nice, soft lighting. If I go without it, bright and harsh lighting, soft and smooth, baby. The next one is microphones. I would traditionally say getting a good boom mic on top of your camera, like the one I'm using right now, the Sennheiser MKE 600, would be a great idea. But actually, if there was one and only mic to get, especially for storytelling, I would actually recommend a lavalier microphone. On our latest documentary that we shot on Storm Chasers, Mark was adamant about giving microphones on our characters right away so that we could stay up and close with them with the audio without getting in their face with the cameras. And we really got the most authentic performances from that. The next thing on the list for top 10 tools is a laptop. Now, for any sort of type of storytelling, whether you're writing a story or editing a story or even filming something, having a mobile office that can commute with you anywhere has always been the best thing, at least for me. If, let's say, I'm writing a book, I'm able to open it up at a coffee shop or on the side of the road and just start writing. If I'm working on a film project and want to show like a client the color grade of something, I can quickly import my footage and do a quick color grade. Okay, number 4, the most valuable tool on any list ever is time. I'm gonna give you guys a little tool to give yourself more time. I use it all of the time now. It's to multiply whatever you're doing by 3. So if you're going to send an email out and you think it's only gonna take you 10 minutes to send, give yourself 30 minutes. Let's say you're working on a new video and you think it's only gonna take you a day, give yourself 3 days. And if you're writing a book and you think, oh, I could probably bang that out in a year, chances are it's probably gonna take you about 3 years to do that. My latest project, The Unoriginal Guide to Originality, this book that I actually implemented a ton of storytelling in, was a project that I thought that was only gonna take me a short sliver of time. It ended up taking me actually like 4 years to do. So if I gave myself only a window of a 1-year thing completion date, it would have been really disappointing. Biggest thing for shooting is to have a stabilizer. So some sort of tool or device that gives you smooth shots. Now, there are mixed opinions over what pieces of gear are the best ones to get stable shots, from tripods to gimbals to shooting just handheld. Well, what I recommend is find the tool that works best for you, and there's no one that works better than the other. Each one just has its own flavor. For me, I'm a big gimbal user, so I use the DJI Ronin S2, but figure out what that stabilizer is and have that in your arsenal. You don't always have to use it. The documentary that we shot, Chasing Tornadoes, a lot of it was shot on a gimbal, but also a lot of it was shot handheld because that's just what was available to me and what fit the tone of the scene. Choose some stabilizer of choice and then learn how to use that perfectly so it's in your arsenal for capturing smooth shots, because I guaranteed no project ever will work well without some sort of smooth shots. Next asset, Hundo P you gotta go with, is the Sony a7S Mark III. Boom, best camera out there on the market. That felt good to say. Oh yeah, I'm just kidding. No, you can shoot on whatever camera you wanna do. There's a saying, best camera is the one that's always with you. I think it's just the best tool to use is the one you understand. There is no benefit to showing up on set, going out to shoot a new video, getting a client gig, you name it, and shooting with a piece of equipment you have no idea how to use. You're better off to pull out your cell phone and shoot it on that. This latest project that we shot doing storm chasing, I was so excited to try out all this new gear, get a big monitor, case, cage, all that stuff. And when we showed up on set, I last minute decided just to strip everything off and shoot with what I knew, because no one was gonna benefit from me having all these bells and whistles that I didn't know how to use in order to just satisfy my ego or to play out with new toys.
We have nailed it, man. Such good, 100% riding this story.
The next tool you can use all the way from writing a book to making a film to even doing YouTube channels, which is collaboration. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. There's this idea of collaboration where it has to be this big film crew and a massive set of people, but really you can collaborate with just one person. The documentary that I recently just finished, it was just me, a one-man band shooter, but one of the areas that I wanted to elevate the film was in post-production. So I hired an animator off of Fiverr to do these animated effects throughout the shots to give it an extra little bit of layer that I just couldn't provide myself. So find a collaborator who you can work with who brings in an edge that you don't have. You can find them on websites like Fiverr. You can even do Facebook posts. It doesn't have to be an expensive cinematographer or a producer or AD. When you get to that point, that's awesome. But just even adding something like visual effects into your film can really take it to the next level. The tool that I use every single day, whether I'm filming, writing, or whatever, is a journal, a book. I actually have 2 books that I write in. I have my journal and my ideas book. This is my ideas book. This is where movie concepts go into, YouTube videos, sort of thoughts about things, you name it. It's scribbles and chicken scratches. The reason why you want to have this is ideas can be stuck in your head and bounce around in sort of this dark space. And if all you have is this sort of thing circling, you're kind of stuck in a vacuum. Now, every story revolves around a few key elements. Beginning, middle, and end are the obvious ones, but even deeper, it's conflict and resolution. What is the conflict that you're chasing to tell this better story? In our film, The Journey Home, which is a documentary about Indigenous communities up in Northern Ontario, the big conflict that we sort of found was the upbringing of children and the younger generations in these Indigenous communities were having a tough time with their heritage and stuff in their background. So how can we resolve that problem? And in this film, that sort of gave me a journey as a storyteller. So figuring out the conflict for your film doesn't necessarily just help tell a better story, it helps you tell the story even better. My book, The Unoriginal Guide to Originality, I have many micro conflicts in every single chapter, but overall there's one full conflict to sort of have some sort of resolution to, which is how do you be original? And a good, easy way to figure out what a conflict is figure out what's the question your movie is trying to answer or your story is trying to answer. Now that we're here, I just want to say a huge thanks. We just released my first book ever, The Unoriginal Guide to Originality. It's been a 4-year journey. If you want to talk about storytelling, that is my most sort of uncomfortable dip into new storytelling. I've never written anything before this. We just had a huge launch event for the book. I could not be more amazed at the people who turned out. Like, I'm so happy and so excited. And I really want to thank everyone who supported the book. If you guys are interested in taking a look at it and wanting to, elevate your storytelling capabilities, please give that a check out. Like I said, it's been a huge labor of love of mine, and having your support would be the greatest. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Absolutely love you, and have an amazing day. Keep making some great stuff.